Test, 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 test. Trying to see if this is working or not. It's your boy Sal in the building, man. Trying to see if this is for real. What's going on, everybody, man? Just trying to see if this Wall Street bets thing is for real. Everybody in the building, press 1 right now if you can hear me. I feel like every time I disappear for a while and then I come back, they change everything up. So I got to figure out whether I'm even live right now. Press 1 in the building if you can see me right now so I can check you out. Shout out to the people coming into the chat room right now, man. Yes, indeed. Let me know if you can see me right now, man. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. You can see me and hear me. Shout out to all of you guys. We're going to let people come into the chat room slowly but surely. And then we're going to start talking about some stocks, man. Your boy took a month off, man, because I don't know where some of you guys have been at, but I killed it on BTBT, man. Like, I destroyed that shit. I destroyed that shit. If you saw my BTBT, my Riot blockchain, your boy destroyed that shit, man. Destroyed that shit. Yes, indeed. Oh, let the beat hit you, man. We're going to talk some real shit today right now. What's going on Wall Street bets. Shout out to the people who made some money, because you know the people at the top made all the money. All the suckers who, man, somewhere in their room hoping and praying right now for the market to get back up to 115, 125, 140. And it ain't coming back, man. It's a wrap. I'm going to tell you right now, GameStop, it's a wrap. Your boy Sal is already on. I'm already selling the 150 calls. I'm already selling the 150 calls for April. I'm already selling the 110 calls for March 19th. Shout out to everybody in the building right now. Who's in here right now? Alita Terry, Jabs Are Stiff, Adam Gergis. Shout out to Adam Gergis, man. You've been watching me for years, bro. Shout out to you. LK Rod, what's up, bro? Everything's been good, man. Everything's been good. Shout out to everybody who's healthy. Blessings to you guys. You got, a lot of people been out here dying, man, losing their lives. So if you are breathing and your family as well, praise God, man. Praise God, because, I watched my uncle, who is 82 years old now. I mean, go from, 196 to 160, bro. I mean, in a span of like 2.5 months. This man almost died. And, when you have family, they've been around all your life. Obviously you see them getting older, but the idea of them not being there, it doesn't even hit you. And for just a few weeks in my life, it was like, man, this man is not going to be here. Like, this man could possibly die. And it got real, man. It got real. But again, God is good. He's made a full recovery. And that's just off the back of prayer, man. Just off the back of prayer. Trust me, I tried to spend the money to get the emergency, all type of drugs that are out there in development right now. Nobody was trying to hear me. If you're not like a senator or somebody really important, they're not trying to hear you, man. They're not trying to hear you. So shout out to everybody in the building right now. Let's talk about what's going on with this Wall Street bets thing. Let's talk about the market in general. That in my opinion, is showing a lot of weakness here. But then again, we are up significantly over the last several weeks. We had a 5% week just about what two weeks ago or so. For those of you guys who do the math, as I taught you in my course, what was that 5% week we had not too long ago, right? That was November, yeah, the election week. We had a 6% week. We had a 6% week back in November. And we haven't had any kind of significant pullback since that time, right? We were up. That actually was a 10% month. That was a 10% month. And in December, we were up 3%. We're already up another 2% this week for January, or for January, the month as a whole. So, I mean, this has been an incredible 4 weeks for the market. And I would just love to see where you guys' head are at. You say you see an upcoming correction. I agree with you. I'm already selling the 405 calls in the SPY as well as 410. I'm up there selling those calls right now. I've pretty much gone full premium selling for the most part, just because the edge is just way too, it's just too obvious of an edge to sell premium instead of buying it. Obviously, buyers of premium have been well rewarded in some of the short squeezes that we've seen taking place, and I haven't seen a short squeeze like this, since what had happened to, if you guys remember back last summer, to Urban One. I think it was U1, right? It was U1, the black radio station company, and that was a giant short squeeze on a smaller scale, but still very impressive, because the stock had went from $2.30 all the way up to $52. So still a very impressive squeeze, and I haven't seen anything like that since. And GME looks very similar to that, very, very similar to that, where you just had some people who got caught slipping, man. You had some people who got caught slipping. And I'm going to tell you something, as somebody who used YouTube to promote stocks, to make a little change for himself, the best time to get in on a pump and dump, and this is basically what this is. It's a very cleverly devised pump and dump, is really the first and second day. The first and second day, because people are excited. The stock is still relatively cheap, right? On this, product, you have options available. So options were still, under $2, under $1 for 3 months leading in to what we have going on right now. They were trading for as low as 40 cents, 30 cents on some of the gains that I've seen guys post. The higher now that it goes up, it's more expensive for people to trade. The market makers are fighting back now because they've widened the spread right now. I mean, it's almost it's gotten to as high as $1, but right now you're looking at a 40-cent spread between the bid and the ask. So they're fighting back, and they're winning. They're winning right now because they've been able to control the price and the movement of the stock. It's trading like a real stock right now, and this is exactly what you don't want to see on a pump. This is what you don't want to see, because now, if you're a short seller and you're being squeezed, now you're like, well, I can tolerate this. When you're squeezing, when a stock is squeezing, what you want is the fear of God into that person. Like, man, it's going up $2, $3 a minute. You gotta want them to be thinking the worst of the worst. Like their financial, situation can be ruined. And you got to understand that's just not happening to anybody who's being squeezed right now in GameStop. So you're fighting an uphill battle. You've got declining volume. You've got fewer people who can now afford to participate. You've got a lot of people who have been burned in GME, right? Go back to yesterday and look at what those 145 calls were going for. They were going for up to $30. They were going up to $30. That money is gone. It's not coming back. That money is gone. So if you were a sucker yesterday, you're on your knees begging to God to see those prices again, and it's not likely you're going to get that. It's not likely you're going to get that. Said Melvin Capital almost blew up, but they got saved though. See, that's the thing about Wall Street, is that a lot of these boys, they work at one shop, they go out and start their own shop, and when shit ain't going right, they got friends in the business that will come and save the day. Melvin Capital got saved. Last night, they got an injection for $2.75 billion. You know, you said they had to get bailed out. But that's the thing, though. It's like, it's not even really like a bailout like that. It's more or less like, yo, hey, man, I see they stressing you. Let me hook you up with this. You know? So the game, I mean, I don't really know how to really get this across to you. It's just that this was an impressive run, but the idea of, you know, that I saw $450, $500 that GameStop, it's just ludicrous. It was just ludicrous, man. Come on. You know, now you're starting to think that these people are stupid. You know, do you really think these people are that dumb? You know, so stop acting like these people didn't go to Harvard, Yale, and some of the best business schools out there. These people are not dumb. They know what you're doing. They know how to attack you, how to defend themselves. You know, it's not time for silly season. People are dealing with, you know, the money of multi-trillion-dollar corporations. And you got a couple people in their basement, you know what I mean, in their underwear, and they came together and they tried to do something, and they did it. I'm not going to take that away from them. They did it. They did it, but the game is set up for them to win in the end. And they're going to win. Oh, you better believe they're going to win. And just to kind of show you guys what's going on here, I want to see if I can show you what's going on in Black Box, just to kind of show you where the price action is right now in GameStop, because they're getting real bearish now. You're starting to see some bearish activity, and let me see if I can show that to you guys. You might have to kind of make the screen bigger on your end. But here's what's called a heat map. So on Black Box, as most of you guys already know, you got the flow, right, that shows you what they're buying and where they're buying it at. And I can tell you right now, this flow is considerably weaker and slower than it was, you know, even yesterday. I mean, this was yesterday. And you can see here, look at all those double A's that you're seeing there. That's above ask. So they were jumping in above the ask. That's how aggressive they were getting earlier in that day. And you just don't see that right now. I mean, it's just not even close. I'm seeing a couple double A's. But you see now they're jumping in on the puts. Look where the puts are coming in at. They're going out to July 16th, 2021 to $20 puts. This is a $75,000 trade. That's $22,000. So now as you can see, there's a lot more put side trades than we saw yesterday. Now, for what's going on today, besides the fact that they've made the spreads wide, let's go to the heat map and just to a quick training on how to use the heat map here. This is the call side. This is the put side. P0 means within the week. P1 means 1 week away. 2 weeks away or more is P2. Right? So if we look at the call side, as you can see, it's getting weaker here. This is bearish. They were going in heavy on the 140s. That's a wrap. 135, that's a wrap, right? This is all this week. Notice that there's virtually no call or significant calls being accumulated a week from now. There's virtually nothing there. So what we can tell is that there's going to be a very, 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 very ugly pullback sometime soon in GME. I'm hoping to capture that on camera, but so be it if it doesn't happen. So be it if it doesn't happen. Where am I at? There we go. I've seen Robinhood guys throwing massive cash at this thing. The slaughter will be bad. Oh man, it's going to destroy some of those guys if they don't know what they're doing. If they don't know what they're doing. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and talk about some of your stocks, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody said, what do I think about Ford Motor Company? It looks good. I mean, I like what they're doing with some of their products. I saw that the monthly chart, the monthly chart looks really healthy. This would be a buy signal for me, particularly on these established companies. When you see that 1025, again, my favorite moving average, getting topped out, and it's looking real healthy if you're looking for a long-term play here. And I've already seen some people jumping on the leaps on Ford Motor Company. It's about time Tesla have some competition, and GM and Ford are well positioned to be able to be competitive competition for Tesla. And if you're talking about a serious investment being made by Ford and GM, then we're going to start talking about, whether or not Tesla is overpriced. Because I can tell you right now, Ford and GM can create a very competitive priced vehicle that Tesla may not be able to compete with. Just on price alone, Just on price alone. Money Green, ATR is too low. Yeah, I mean, it's a sleeper stock. I'm not going to lie to you. Ford is very much is not something that you're going to wake up tomorrow or a week from now and see at $32. It doesn't have that kind of movement. But if you are someone who can't afford to lose money, you're someone who likes a stock that is reliable and steady, and you're not going to wake up tomorrow and be down 7, 8, 9%, then Ford might be your cup of tea. So it's definitely not a stock for everybody. Definitely not a stock for everybody. There's certain portfolios where GM might make more sense, or Tesla may make more sense. If you're very aggressive, some people look at this monthly chart in Tesla and say that there's more to go. I'll be the first one to tell you at 640, at 680, I was like, hell no, this can't be the case. Here we are, another $200 a share higher. That's insane. That's absolutely insane what's going on right now in Tesla. All right. To say we're extended is an understatement. Again, I don't try to recreate the wheel. I just use a basic moving average for my trading on a long-term time frame, and I follow the trend. And it's worked out again and again and again. Now, for those of you guys who've taken my training on those weekly calls, you've been killing it on there as well. And I think later, if we have some time, I'll show you guys easily how to identify opportunities in that using probability, where you'll figure out that we just are going up consistently on what appears to be less than 2% per week. Whereas if you set your positions anywhere between 2.5% to 3%, away from the current price action, let's say on a Monday, then you're almost surely 8 out of 10 times winning that trade. And we'll talk about that a little later. I don't want to complicate people right now. I don't want to confuse anybody. FCL, Sun W, biggest bags in your portfolio. Okay. Let's take a look at what's been going on over there. Yeah, this is a multiple day time frame, the 3 day chart. Again, just kind of using the momentum of the market and riding that. There's so much money in the system right now. There's really no reason uh, to risk, day trading activity because there's no real need for it. I mean, you could have rode for the last 10 months, 12 months, TQQQ, the SPY. I mean, it's just been amazing how, even though in the middle of a pandemic, with unemployment the way it is, we're trading higher, right? And at a higher valuation than we were at the best of the best times prior to COVID. It's unexplainable. It's unexplainable. You know. And yeah, I get it. I mean, 0% interest rates, but still, still. You still have some people who are, trying to position themselves here for what they expect to be, return in quote unquote pent up demand. I don't like that word pent up demand, because this the idea that there's everybody at home that just wants to travel and go places. And I think we're really underestimating the kind of generational change that happens when young people go through a situation like this. For example, think about the people who grew up under the Great Depression, right? And how they were, as a generation, incessive savers, right? So I'm looking at young people today, under 12, under 10, you know what I'm saying? 15-year-olds or lower. And I'm thinking, if you're somebody who's got a 30-year investment horizon, you've got to, or more, you've got to really understand that there's some generational shifts that are going to take place here. I don't think that they're going to be a generation that's going to want to just go to restaurants like that after being, exposed to something like this, seeing people in their family die, you know, having to deal with not going to school because of something that was spread, being in environments where you're dealing with strangers or you're dealing with people in very close proximity. There's some real generational shifts that can happen when people experience things like this. But again, that's further down the road. That's further down the road. Are we going to see an increase in travel? Sure. Will we ever see it the way we used to? Time will tell on that. But I am seeing people position themselves, for a possible increase in the prices of airline stocks. All right, so let's take a look at some of the other tickers you guys have put up here. What's IDEX? Ideanomics. Here's another one. Don't know what this company does. Decent pullback today. Again, we're struggling market wide right now. We're struggling market wide right now. Small cap stock. I would say so. Haze of Our Lives. He's asking, is Ford more of a long-term holder? I would say so. I would say so. I mean, Ford is what they're doing is making the adjustments necessary to continue to win down the road. If you've already stayed track with them, then you know that they've already dropped many of their vehicle lines. For example, the Ford Taurus and some of their other sedans. So they are already looking to make big adjustments for the future. IBM. IBM is sort of kind of a sad story. I mean, this is, what a storied company. Last year they made the acquisition for Red Hat, and that was just, maybe a bit overdone in terms of what people expected they could get out of that. And, besides a really good version of a Linux operating system, we haven't seen any real benefits that IBM has been able to get from buying Red Hat. Red Hat, by the way, just up the street from me here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Said GM broke. Say GME. Yeah, we're going to see GME continue to fluctuate, man. At the end of the day, you still have a market. You still have buyers and sellers. You're going to continue to fluctuate, right? Until they run out of people who are willing to risk significant capital to buy an overpriced stock, it's going to continue to fluctuate. They're still going out there and buying those 150 calls, right? Forcing the writer to go out there and buy stock in GME. So they're still going to do that. And again, as I mentioned earlier, the market makers are helping them out by keeping the spreads wide. And if you're short GME, I don't know how you were able to get any borrows, but if you are short GME, or if you're holding on to long-term calls, time is your best friend. Because in any pump, particularly when you're working with people you don't know and just chat room kind of type of stuff, at the end of the day, people got bills to pay, people got family, people got other obligations. And 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 days, maybe a week at most, but after that, that money's got to go somewhere else. So you just have to be able to give yourself some time here. That's why I've been suggesting people who are interested in the downside of this is go out till April, go out till March, and whatever GameStop is trading at now, don't even think about it. You know how much the stock is worth. You know that GameStop is a failing business. You know, if you play video games, that the idea of physical hardware or physical software is going away. In fact, it's actually inconvenient to have physical software a lot of the times. You got computer systems being built today that don't even have CD-ROM drives or, DVD disk drives. Showing my age there. If you build a computer today, 9 times out of 10, you're probably not putting a DVD drive on it. CLSK. I'm not liking this even this short-term trend. I got it on the 10-minute. It looks ugly. I love what they're doing to Nikola, though. I love what they're doing to Nikola. Black Box called Nikola this morning at the $25. At $25. What were they buying? Okay, I got too many screens here. I might have to get rid of some of these screens. So they're buying what are they buying on Nikola right now? I'll tell you guys right now, right on off Black Box, what they're buying. The $25 calls that are going for $1.58 right now. It's fluctuating though, it's up and down. That alert came out at 9:40 on Nikola, $25 calls, and they were hitting that hard. They really are going after all the shorts, man. Jesus. I might follow them into that. But gosh, I hate when it's overextended like that. I mean, because you just know it's going to pull back a little bit, but these are plays there are a lot of shorts in, and they're in heavy. We know what happened to Nikola and the failed deal that they had with GM. We know how the boss CEO of Nikola was practically chased out the company. NOK, yeah, they're going in on NOK. They're going in on BlackBerry. I mean, it's this is really interesting what's going on here. And again, everything they're doing is protected by the First Amendment. You know, let me show you guys my black box screen. Just show uh, if you want to see where they're going in at right now. So there's my black box screen right now. As you can see, they're going in on Nikola right now. 136% gains right now already on that Nikola trade. GME, as I told you, I'm already selling those GME calls. Uh, if you bought the 135 call this morning at 9:32, you're down 47% on your money right now. Again, this is the short dated expiration for this week. So that's why I suggest individuals go further out. Go further out. Saying, how do I get business credit and maneuver into my options trading account? Oh man, that's a whole conversation we can have another time. Just email me. Yeah. My bad, guys. I had you guys looking at my whole damn screen in the back here. Again, they've changed a lot of stuff here on YouTube, so bear with me if it seems a bit chaotic on my end. Just watching what everybody's doing and what they're showing on Black Box, so I could keep you guys updated on where the price action seems to be moving right now. What's going on, LK Rock? Yeah, I see what you're saying about not believing in saving and look, you had a billionaire come out a couple weeks ago and say cash is trash. You had a billionaire say cash is trash. So if a billionaire can say that, I mean, got to keep your money moving. Got to keep your money moving. First name dot last name at outlook.com. Me at outlook.com. You know, but every time when it talks about using credit, you just got to really be careful when we're talking about using credit to trade with. Then it starts to talk about how much does it actually cost you to borrow those funds. What's your strategy to pay back on the money as you use it to leverage yourself. So you just definitely want to be careful with that. Let's see, NOK. Yeah, oh man, this is now they might be getting ahead of themselves here. Just like any good pump, man, it's just everybody's got to stay committed, and when people start questioning and start getting scared, start running out of money, you know, you start to see that lack of commitment in the trading. And yeah, man, this isn't looking good at all. Not looking good if you're talking about sending Nokia to really scare somebody. And again, not trying to shit on what they're doing. I think what they're doing is amazing. It makes sense on paper. Makes a lot of sense on paper. You get, from what I hear, they got 2 million people in the room. So let's say out of those 2 million people, maybe you got, 40,000 that are like serious committed, right? Willing to put up a little bit of capital to go in. That makes a lot of sense. You get 40,000 people, varying ranges of trading ability and capital. You got one guy that might have 500K, one guy might have 50, one guy might only have $500, but working together, they can do some real damage and have done some real damage this week. But I can definitely see some rules being traded here. Some rules being changed in terms of, they might start hiding short interest. They might start hiding. If this gets really bad, they'll start hiding it. They'll just say, you know what, it's no longer available, or it's out of protection of investors. I could see that honestly happening. I could see that honestly going away. They really are still fighting this. It's holding that 10 moving average, by the way. They had a few closes beneath it, but it's holding that 10 moving average on this hourly time frame. So, again, on these higher time frames, they're trying to hold this together. Even though we can't admit there are probably some more exciting opportunities and cheaper opportunities, and maybe even better opportunities going right now, particularly when you look at BlackBerry, when you look at Nikola, those might be even more exciting opportunities. Plug Power. Now, this isn't a squeeze, right? I don't think this is a squeeze. Shout out to Plug Power. You guys remember, I don't know how long some of you guys have been watching me. I'm definitely familiar with some of you guys who've been here well over 3, 4, or 5 years. But to see where Plug Power is now, which is, at $74, Plug Power was a shitty penny stock. It was a shitty penny stock that people were following because of lawsuits and because maybe this and that. And they've turned into a multi-billion-dollar, company. $25 billion market cap right now. And this used to be the play that guys would, buy with, $20, $25 and just kind of sit on the side. Let's be honest, it took years of discipline, right? I mean, years of discipline. 2016, 2017, when we kind of showed up on the scene here, it was a joke. Here's the monthly chart. Again, moving averages will never lie. And when we talk about long-term changes in trend, you can't ever deny that monthly chart. It's either above it or below it. Yes, it does. It does. I mean, they're holding it. Like I said, they really are holding it. They really are holding it. I'm honestly surprised we haven't seen the 7-day hold yet. Right now, if you look at the NASDAQ hold page, it's purely been in what's called M status, so all momentum holds. Interestingly enough, management is practically, non-existent on what's going on right now. And look, you're not going to have the CEO come out and say our stock is overpriced. He's not going to say that. But for the benefit of the shareholders, GameStop right now is what, $1.5 billion in debt? Do an offering. Get debt free. That's why I'm not a big believer in Andrew Leff's it's going back to $20 thing. No, I think they can do an offering, get debt free, and be a $45 stock. You know? It's got about 1.5 billion of debt on the books. Clear that out. Do an offering right now. They should do an offering. In fact, I have no doubt it's going to happen because typically what we see on these spikes is an offering eventually. They should sell stock right into you. Look at all this demand. If I'm a shareholder, and I'm not talking about one of these Wall Street bets people. I'm talking about a real, you really fucking believe in this company and you're not on that Wall Street bet shit, right? You probably should be selling now, but if you haven't sold, then I would be calling to ask for an offering to wipe that debt clear. But at the end of the day, you are loving every single moment of what's going on here. Cord cutter lifestyle and tag. Tons of stocks are rising. You're getting notification. Penny stocks alert you set 3 years ago. That's what it is, man. That's what 0% money can do. When you got, people getting money for nothing, this is what happens. Speaking of Peter Schiff, I hate his guts. You guys know I hate his guts. But he's right about how, cheap money causes asset inflation. And in order to protect an economy, from COVID-like situations, that's what you do. You artificially stimulate the value of assets by decreasing the cost of money. And that's what they've done. We've caused this. Not you and me, but the federal government has caused this. Bailing out companies, buying assets outright, using the Federal Reserve. This is what happens when you send people money, many of them who don't need it. Gaston, absolutely right. Issue more shares. That's correct. They should just go ahead and issue more shares right now. Just dump it right on the market. The demand is there. They can make the money. Was I on a documentary? Nope. Say way overbought on monthly. Absolutely. It's not worth that, guys. It's not worth the money. That's why I would not touch GameStop at all. You got people who are in these for the week, for next week. That's way too short dated for me. You got to go back to just human psychology here. Think of a heavyweight boxing fight. The first 4 rounds, guys are still strong. You get to about round 6, round 7, those arms start to get a little heavy. Movement starts to get slow. The legs start to get real heavy. That's when I want to, that's where I want to be. AMC. Yeah, shout out to AMC. AMC was able to raise, how much they raised? They raised like $2 billion a couple days ago to save what they, what they have left. And one of my first jobs I ever had as a teenager working at a place called Star Theater up there in Southfield, Michigan. They shut off like a month into the pandemic. That was a theater that was barely holding on as it was. It was ghetto as hell. I don't want to say it was the hood theater because it wasn't necessarily in the hood, but if you had a really nice date, that wasn't the theater you would go to just because a lot of hood motherfuckers would go there because it was like right on the bus lines, from the hood. So that would be like the nice theater for them. And people would just talk all throughout the movie. It was horrible. Probably the worst theater experience I think you could ever have. Star Theater in Southfield, Michigan. So that was a theater that was already struggling as it is. So, how do we protect our family's assets? Well, you need some exposure to cryptocurrency. I think you also have to buy. If again, this depends on how liquid you are. Um, Municipal bonds is another conversation you can have. Not all of them, especially not necessarily your larger cities. Uh, well, actually, I would probably target the larger cities because they have more than likely the ability to bounce back than your smaller cities do. But investing in stocks because there's nowhere else to go to get beta. I mean, look at these bonds. You're not getting any money on the bonds these days. You're getting nothing. Anybody who's buying a bond today is getting nothing. You've got nowhere to go but the stock market. You know, I feel so sorry for the retirement accounts. Those big funds because I mean I don't know how they're going to pay people. I really don't know how they're going to pay people. You think Robinhood would leave it up? Well, that's the thing. I think it would just be banned market wide, just as a thing. You will just no longer be able to see short interest because I can see that argument being made that if short interest becomes a weapon, right? That now you're talking about harming investors. Why are we allowing people to see short interest on a stock? If you want to be short, get short, but you shouldn't be able to see that 90% of the float is short. Again, I'm not on any side of the argument. I'm really taking the devil's side here because I can see that argument being made after all this is said and done. Because these guys are really stress testing our system right now, and it's showing the fundamentals of the market are broken here. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. AMC up, 200, almost 100%, 200% over the last couple of days. Makes obviously nowhere still. I mean, it's still very much a beat up stock historically, but I mean, are you near pandemic prices? I think you might actually be above. Well, no, you're still below pandemic. It's pandemic high, but or pre-pandemic high. GME $95. They're going for the high of the day. Look, they're pushing, man. They're pushing. Like I said, Friday's expiration. They are pushing. They got there's desperation on either side. If you're short, then you just need to make it to the end of the week. If you're long, more than likely you're long this week, and you need something to happen before the end of the week. So there's a lot of begging on both sides of the trade here. I love it. I love it. Cal Johnson said you shouldn't be able to short more shares than available. I didn't know you could do that. Can you short more shares than available? I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. Someone being able to short more than available. Who's going to write the shares for you to short? You actually have to have shares available in order to short them. Says Citron is like screwed. Well, that's if we think that Citron is still holding. If you believe Citron is still holding, then yeah, they're getting a new asshole ripped, and this might be the last of Alex left. I think that's his name, right? Alex left. But this has been a complete disaster for him. You can't deny that. I mean, he's had his Twitter account try to be hacked, his YouTube hacked. I mean, they really have came for him. They really have came for him. Yes, short interest can exceed supply. Okay, new to me. Did not know that. New to me. Again, I'm retail like very much all of you in here. When I'm at Interactive Brokers and they say they don't have any available, I'm guessing I can't short it. Okay. GameStop lowballed me in high school, getting mine back now. Hilarious. I think we all got everyone's. I mean, if you're a gamer, you got screwed by GameStop, and a little bit of that is just kind of poor decision making. I went in there. I remember it like yesterday. I went in there and I traded GoldenEye. I traded Perfect Dark. I traded. What else did I give them? I think it was like NBA in the Zone 98. I traded one Nintendo game that was called Flying Dragon, and then I got a bullshit. Oh man, I don't. Bad memories, bro. Painful, painful memories. I remember that day. I gave like 9 games, 9 games for one. Horrible decision. Horrible, horrible, horrible decision. But when you're young and you're just excited and you're just you don't understand the value of kind of what you have at that age. You make poor decisions like that. And of course, you know, if you have parents that are just on top of you like that, they're not going to make that happen. But, at that age, your parents are just kind of like, whatever, he's going to do whatever he's going to do. And that's kind of what my parents let me do. And I gave away some really good games that I ended up having to buy back at higher prices, later down the road. He said that gap from Citron being called. Preston, you really hate Citron, man. You really hate Citron Research. They're going for the high of the day now. Hey, if they make a new high, I might want look. I might try and go in there and get me a. Nah, let me not do nothing dumb. Lord knows I jump in there and buy a call. Next thing you know, this thing starts dropping. Let's go ahead, HYLN. Bro, this is crazy, man. And they're so triggered right now on CNBC. Oh, they're so triggered. Yesterday it was worse. Today you can see there's a concerted effort not to kind of talk about these little stocks that are running and kind of focus on these bigger large cap stocks. But they were so triggered yesterday. Ooh. You could just feel it in his tone. They just did not like what was going on. Yeah, I see Preston, but I'm already holding. I'm already holding some of those 145s as I mentioned earlier from yesterday. So I'm already sitting pretty. So for me, it's like, if we get a chance to get back up there, I might buy some more. But at the end of the day, I would want to see maybe 155, 160, maybe 170. You had guys in the chat room who were saying that they shorted more than, shares available. If that's the case, then that's a lot of, that's a lot of covering that has to be done. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of covering that has to be done. HYLY, yeah, HYLN looks good too. I'm not seeing anything like that on Black Box. Boy, they are really pushing it. 96 now. All right, I know you guys want to see the 1 minute chart. Boy, look at this. My moving averages are looking beautiful. They're doing the right thing. Seeing the gap widen now on the 1 minute, looking real nice. Very strong. Let's go to 2 minute to kind of wash up the inconsistency. Yeah, it hasn't been a bad chart for the day. They're going to widen those spreads out. Preston says choking supply does increase price temporarily. Yeah. And like I said, this week belongs to them. As I showed you guys the black box heat map, this week belongs to them. You know what I'm saying? This week belongs to the guys who are risking it all. Risking it all. I mean, seriously. Because they can just halt this thing right now for 7 days. Just they got all the reason to do it. What's going on, Wise Phenomenal? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Made a killing on BT and took a break, bro. Shout out to Bitcoin, man. Shout out to Bitcoin. Paid my way. Damn near made my year, to be honest with you. Here's GameStop here, 98 now. Keep an eye on this and Nikola. Is it check out tell they're going back to 7. Yeah, definitely seeing some volume there. Nikola still holding. Still holding that 25 moving average on the 2 minute. Again, when you're trading intraday alerts, you don't have to make it up. Don't have to create the wheel. Just use a nice moving average and just kind of stay along with the price action. But they're taking off, GME. Here we go. Getting 3 digits now. Say you two play too many games. I appreciate you, Dark Waters. Thank you for the contribution. Let's go. Let's go. They want to give me another chance at those 145 calls. I'll take it. But ladies and gentlemen, remember, they got, look, I've seen some people who are saying this could go to 400. If you're one of those people who think this could go to $400, let me know in the chat room. Because I just want to think like, where are you in at for you to, obviously that would be a huge windfall for you if you're in right now. If you're one of these guys who's, been sitting on, $30 calls or something like that. Get in Microsoft before 4. Yeah, Microsoft is a long-term play for me. I got exposure to Microsoft in the ETF. I got my old man into Microsoft a couple of years ago. Done very, very well. Done very, very well. You know, you go back on the chart, Microsoft was a $20 stock for a very long time. You know, this is a man who's 35 years just constantly investing, investing, investing. So he's just done very well for himself. While institution gets bailed out, I hear you, Kyle. I hear you. I hear what you're saying, about smashing institution, but you know, everybody can't be a retail trader. Do you see what I'm saying? We need institutions that manage money for the layman. So, you know, I see the way you're looking at institutions as just the bad guy. They're greedy and they're going to, granted, there's that part of the market, right? But at the end of the day, you still do need institutions, right, that manage money for people. You know, pity the guy who, opened up an account at Melvin Capital. He gave him 1.5 million of his hard-earned savings over the course of, his 50 or 60 years of work experience, and came close to losing it all and might lose it all. Look, you think if you call Melvin Capital right now and you want out, you think they're going to send you a check right now? Nobody's getting a check out of Melvin Capital right now. If you call them right now and you say, hey, I've been with you guys for what they started in 2014, I saw on the website. Hey, I've been with you guys for 2 years, and hey, I see what's going on. I'm a little worried. I want my money back. Well, how much you want, sir? Well, I want all of it. They ain't giving it to you. You ain't getting shit. Not right now. Not right now. They don't want to open those floodgates. GME, boy. They coming after that ass. Look at Nikola. What's going on with Nikola, man? Let's get some action up there. There we go. New high. Come on, push. We got some real shorts in NKLA, man. We know Nikola is a turret stock too, but this one's just really kind of getting started. Here's the 3-day GME and Nikola. Big difference there. Blackberry's looking a little tired today. What was that? Bed Bath and Beyond, right? That was another one they were doing. How they're now trashing the Wall Street. Oh yeah, yeah. But again, this all started off with that guy. What's the name of that clown who owns the sports betting company, or sold out his comedy blog out to them? What's that guy's name? Some of you guys find him so funny. I don't find him funny at all. This all started out really with him. Dave Portnoy. There we go. He was really the beginning of all this. He was really the beginning of all this. And now, hindsight being 2020, we can see that. The beginning of like retail, like outdoing the masters, Preston, you said you're happy with your hold from 2008. That's what's up, man. What's going on, Michael Black? Bro, 114 GME. We're halted now. We're halted now. Oh, biggie. All right, guys. I told you I'm at 145 for April and March. And if you were watching, they just wrote those. They just kind of wrote those yesterday because if you had looked at options for GME, if you looked at them last Friday, they did not have any options above $60. If you remember, there were no options above $60 for GameStop. So they just kind of wrote those, and they're forcing these people to write those higher priced call options. There are gonna be some real rule changes, man. I'm telling you guys right now, there are gonna be some real rule changes changed, man. Where is Warren Buffett? That's my question, man. Warren Buffett is basically on his deathbed, man. I don't know. Warren Buffett he's up there, bro. Shout out to Warren Buffett. Love the story, but I said last time I saw him on TV, I don't know, man. He doesn't look very strong right now. Doesn't look very strong. Cognitive ability is still there, but you can definitely see the age is now, taking its toll. So he's tired, man. What did you say was that sticker eyes? Any of you guys in love with SPACs right now? There have been some charging SPACs that have done very well and are looking to do very well when they open up. People already taking positions. How long are they going to keep us waiting on let's see what the holds. So of course it was a momentum hold. Boy, this is what the fourth one today or third one today? Third one. Yeah, this is the third one today. Mm-mm-mm. Preparing for the silver rally. Shout out to you, Afro Investor. Yeah, man. I don't know. I used to be a silver gold bug here too. Gold, silver will do well, but bro, those cryptocurrencies, they are finding some real support in the mainstream now, and also now in institutions. That's why when the gentleman was talking about institutions, I don't want to see institutions go away because I've increased my holdings in Bitcoin. I'd love to see institutions get more involved in that because I think that's a lucrative opportunity for retail and institutions to work together, and we can both make a lot of money there. But I see his point. Again, I still see his point. Kyle Johnson. Yeah, definitely bigger than Wall Street bets. All right. This could get let go here in a bit. Do you guys think the Holts work? I think the Holts do work for a bit, but it just seems, you'll have a dump and then, guys are right back in it again. Bitcoin ETH to the moon, absolutely. I got exposure to both. Guys are still talking about those kind of secondhand currencies, or I call them third class cryptos. And I used to be like real big into nano and stuff like that, but yeah, there we go. Here's the dump, and then right back. Look at that, right? Just as I said, you'll see the dump, and then they're right back in it. Here's the hold, and then they'll come right back in it, right? Because you'll have a group of guys who are like, "Oh my God, my account is frozen. What's going on? Nothing is moving. Oh my God, I just want my money back. And of course, they'll sell, and but the guys who know what they're doing will jump right back in. VIH has the safest graph. Okay. What's going on? Try it true. Personal trader is going to Signal app. Okay. Yeah, which is an encrypted version of WhatsApp, basically, right? Man, looking real good, guys. They really are holding on to it, though. And as I have a video where I talked about that RSI, between, 60 and 20. So kind of use your third eye here and kind of see what's been going on here. And as you can see, they're really holding and have been for, I mean, they're really between that 40 and that 60, and they're doing a really good job of holding this together. The big moves happen above 60 RSI on any time frame. That's where you're going to see the big moves. And they've gotten it up there, man. They've gotten it up there. Say GME will hit 130. We're tracking it. We're watching it right now. And whatever tickers you guys bring up, I'll pull up. Yeah, we got a little dumping going on now. Get some profit taking going on right now. WTI. Obviously, you probably mean the actual price of crude and not WTI, the stock. Yeah, we had, some artificial, price stimulation by the Saudis about almost a month ago now, where they took off 1 million barrels of production off the market. And the fact that we even let the Saudis do that, these are people who've got trillions of barrels. I mean, trillions and trillions and trillions of gallons of crude under their feet. And the fact that we still let them be able to sell it at the price that they can sell it to us for is ridiculous. And I think it's, humanity, we'll find that out later, but there's no reason in the world that fuel, shouldn't be, less than a dime for all intents and purposes. I mean, there's just so much of it out there. It's like natural gas, right? Maybe even worse than that. Natural gas is virtually worthless because there's just so much of it. Crude is the same thing. Crude is probably, the biggest financial fraud out there in terms of a manipulated supply and demand. There's tons of supply out there. Tons and tons and tons. But then there's so much money and foreign governments that depend on it. And so there's, But at the end of the day, it's going to zero, man, in terms of just, an industry. And I think now they've gotten to the point where people just realize it's just not worth continued investment in. You got people who are really serious about, clean energy and solar and wind and really kind of getting that going on a large scale. And you can see how it's affecting, XOM and Chevron and those. You can see it. I think it's called SGE or whatever. I think that's a real thing, man. That's a real thing. Oh, absolutely, Michael Black. EV is the real deal. That's why guys in Tesla are killing it, man. I mean, that phrase Tesla millionaire is a real thing. There are people who have been made a millionaire by Tesla. We got to get the dump on GME. We haven't had a close. We haven't had a close beneath that 25 moving average. Yeah, this is the 10 and 25. My favorite day trading moving averages. Oh man, they really got some dumps here. But again, still well above the morning low. FCL Fuel Energy, best clean energy stock. Okay, Legendary 8s, that's what's up. Legendary 8s, when you say they reorganize themselves, what do you mean by that? That they reorganize themselves? Because I know it's been there for a while, but obviously this is the first time I've, seen them in the lexicon of the American public like this. See, said people don't realize he was born in the 1930s. Yeah, Warren Buffett was right place, right time. That's basically the life of Warren Buffett. Right place, right time. You know, I think if there was any father you could have had, that's he really struck out in terms of like having a dad who was like a former congressman and well connected, and also who happened to be a stockbroker. I mean, you couldn't have had a better life for you to win than what Warren Buffett had. Too young to serve in World War II, so he got all the benefits of a post-war America, post-World War II world, where America was really the only industrial power left standing. You know, and with his strategy, along with what was going on, it was just a match made in heaven. GME picking it up. There we go. As you said, man, these halts, they're effective for a little bit, but then they keep it going. Overall market pretty much is still, again, not much going on market wide. Not much going on market wide. QQQ still relatively overpriced, still kind of dealing with its, yeah, QQQ, man, just been an amazing year for QQQ. Again, this is the 3-day chart. What's going on, RJO Liker? LRT said he had a good teacher. Absolutely, his teacher was, if not one of the most intelligent men on trading in the world at that time. His name doesn't ring a bell to me right now, but an incredible teacher. Appreciate the subscription. You've been following NVCN. Okay. Not Livermore. Nope. Livermore is a little bit before. Okay, yeah, I appreciate it. I'm not sure where all these subscribers come from, but I appreciate all of you guys. Might take that off the screen later, but NVCN. It's a damn shame what happened to Jesse Livermore. I wish they'd come out with a movie for him because I think his story is absolutely amazing. I mean, the many a times he went boom and bust like that. I mean, it's truly an American story. Big fan of Jesse Livermore and his story. I mean, he was just way above his time, or maybe some can say he was, a victim of his time. You know, but an incredible story. Absolutely, Kevin Two Smith. I absolutely do. That's my main thing. The 3%, the power of three. It works. Why am I going to stop? It works. I don't know if you've been doing it or not, Kevin, but if you want to win, that's the strategy to win. So how do I trade blue chip? I'm predominantly ETF now. I trade a product called the SPX. It's a CBOE equivalent of the SPY, and it's a European style ETF in that it expires into cash. So I don't trade individual stocks much anymore unless they're doing ridiculous things like this, what we're seeing on GME right now. These are opportunities that only come, once a year, twice a year. You got to take advantage of that. One big mistake that I made last year is I missed out on what happened to Urban One. I mentioned that earlier in the show, but Urban One is the black radio network that got pumped up. I mean, it went from $2 to $52, and there was some opportunity to grab, a couple thousand shares in that, and I squinted, man, and they were gone, and that was an incredibly lucrative opportunity that I passed up on. Because the balance. I mean, you want to talk about balance sheet not being worth the move. I mean that. That balance sheet spoke for itself in that one. Warren Buffett is dead? Man, stop lying, man. Yeah, Kevin, dude. You can back test it from when you first heard about my strategy. Just go back and back test it, and you tell me what your win loss is. Before my Twitter account was unfortunately taken away from me, killing it, man. Posting all my trades, went 11 for 13. And I need to get back on my blog. I think it was vor2.wordpress.com. No, no, sorry, I spelled it wrong. vor2.wordpress.com. Yeah, I think that's my blog. I'm gonna get back on that one too. I'm gonna start making that a bigger part of the show. I finally got my Robinhood back. Finally, I got my Robinhood back. So I really want to get with the guys at Common Stock. I made a video for them, and it really helped out their website. But when time came to be like, okay, you guys want to see me and other traders like me on your platform, I need to see some paper. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these dudes, they want to put you on their thing, but then when it's time for the paper to get divvied out, that's when it's like, well, we could really help each other out by giving each other, legitimacy. I already got legitimacy. I need some money. I'm black. I need some money. You know what I mean? You want to see me on your platform, I need some money. Appreciate you, Bob. I'm not like some of these other black creators. They'll just jump on anything. No, I ride with Black Box because Black Box pays me some money. RGO, yeah, for the most part, just options. Only options. I don't trade. I don't trade stock. anymore. Used to be again big into penny stocks and stuff like that. Spent 3 years promoting penny stocks on YouTube. Loved every minute of it. GME now 102. Let me get out the 1 hour chart. But there, I got to give them credit, man. I got to give credit where credit is due. They've been fighting all day. I don't know where all these people are coming with this money. I think that really emphasizes that Wall Street bets, and that our social media world has the ability to reach just millions of people. I understand you're here. You're looking at trades by people who just heard about this today, and they're like, "Oh, fuck it, I'm in." Say Webull way better than Robinhood. But can you do spreads on Webull? I don't think you can do spreads on Webull, right? I appreciate you, GMS. Yes, indeed. I appreciate you, bro. And while the market is doing that, I guess we could have a quick Excel lesson. If you guys want to. I don't want to force you into anything you don't want to do. But I can just kind of show you guys how the market really doesn't, move as aggressively as you think it does. And how you can make consistent income selling premium, whether it be on a daily basis or a weekly basis or a monthly basis. And by kind of back testing, certain strategies. Let's take a look at. All we need is 2020 data. 2020 is fine. Okay. So, and we won't put it all out there, but what I went and did right now, let me see if I can show you guys real quick, and I won't take up all day doing it, because I know some of you guys just really want to kind of get back to but I really just want to show you guys what I'm seeing here. All right, so this is the spreadsheet. You can download this on Yahoo Finance, right? And on Yahoo Finance, you can download historical data, right? So you can download historical data of stocks and how they traded over several days, several weeks, or several months at a time. So we're going to spread this out, because sometimes it does that when it gets pretty tight. You don't want to spread the price out 2 hours, because they don't give you, they'll give you every decimal beyond price. That's fine. It's fine. Volume. I don't really need volume right now, but that's fine. So we got data really going back to January 20th, all the way back to, or starting for, or ending this week, or this past week rather, January 28th. So we want to really, identify how much has the market really been trading, right? How aggressive have we gotten? How much have we sold off? And again, this is not very complicated analysis. We're just kind of dividing certain numbers here. So we're gonna do a little Excel. I know some of you guys don't like math, but just bear with me. All right, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna take the close, all right, minus the open, all right, close that parentheses, divided by the open, right, and then we'll find a number, right, and then what we're now going to do is just find the percentage basis of that, and then we're going to go 2 decimal places away. So now we know that on January 20th, that week, the market really only moved 0.56% over across those 7 days. So now I've gone back as far as 3 years, but just for this purpose, I'm only going one. But now, if you were to say, okay, if I were to go out 3%, right, on the buy side and the call side using an iron condor or bull put spread, how many instances would I have win? And you've got to really, you know, believe in this strategy by understanding that volatility in America is historically very low compared to any other country. That's why people invest their money here in America, right? Because volatility is low. We're not like, countries like Russia or Saudi Arabia or Brazil, where their markets fluctuate 10, 15%. You can keep your money here. All right. So now, hopefully my screen isn't too small. Let me see. I know I can make everything a little bolder, and I can make everything a little bit bolder here, just so you can kind of see it a little bit better. So you can, again, look at where you would have won just by going out 3% or 4%, and understanding that, trading has a lot of probability involved, right? So that would have been a win at 3. Win, 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 loss, win, win, loss, loss. All right, 320. By the way, if you guys remember, this was the bottom for that COVID sell-off. Here's COVID right here, right? March 9th through March 16th. It was a 7% loss, right? 7.3, 7.4. Kind of started over here back in February, where you had some people who kind of got the first dibs of it. All right, they kind of saw what was going on in Asia. So it was actually really, a bigger loss than that. I would say well over, almost 15% that the market was down across, that month of March. Right. But then again, the Fed, 0% money. Here's the 0% money right here, 11% increase. All right. So, in this instance, obviously oversold. You wouldn't have done, an iron condor in a situation like that. But a bull put spread would have been definitely something I would have done, and actually did do at that time. But again, once you started seeing some stabilization in the VIX, you go back to the strategy: win, loss, loss, win, win, loss, win, 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 loss, 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 win. So again, I hope I'm not losing you here. I really hope I'm not losing you here on that. But I just want to get you to understand that in any strategy, you'll lose some, you'll win some. The idea is winning more than you lose, right? Winning more than you lose. So whether you go out 3% or 4%, obviously, you'll notice if you download, let's say if you go out 36 months, this 2020 and 2021 is, 2020 really, obviously because we're just into 2021, is far more volatile than many of the most recent years of trading we have available. You're just not, if you go out to 2017, 2018, 2016, 2015, you're not seeing 5% weeks. They're there, but you're just not anywhere near the amount that you see, you saw in 2020, right? These 5% down, 5% up. So the strategy does have to be obviously adjusted for the new times we're living in. As we know, the VIX hasn't been able to break 19, 20 or so in almost a year and a half. So that might require you being a little bit more aggressive, like maybe going further out. But again, the variance of you winning is still higher than losing. And you're going to have a strategy that, kind of dictates for, where you might want to close the trade if you feel like you're going to lose or something like that. So you may say, hey, if I'm taking in, $300 of credit per trade, right? Based on, let's say, one contract or two contracts, then I'll close the trade if I hit 50% of max gain. All right, that you can use that as a protection mechanism. So those are ways that you may not ever get to max loss on some of these trades where you were down 5% or so you never end up actually losing uh, what you risked for the trade. All right. Are you guys getting what I'm trying to say? I hope I'm not confusing you here. You guys getting me? I'm looking at the chat room now, so I hope I'm not. Again, we don't want to make it complicated. And again, you can do this with any stock. You can do this with any stock. You can do this with TQQ. You can do this with Microsoft. You can do this with Tesla. I'm telling you right now, every stock, and again, this I'm only using, one formula, which is basically just finding, percentage move for the week. I'm not even talking about finding variances in terms of like, how many times across 24 months or across 48 months did Tesla move 7% or more in a week, right? Excel can do that for you. And you can find those variances. All right. Is anybody out there? Is somebody hear what the hell I'm talking about? Let me know if you hear me. Because you guys went full quiet on me, so I don't even know if am I still on or what? So what total beginner, what are the classic trading books you mentioned earlier that you would recommend? Well, Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. We just talked about the guy behind that book. Anything having to do with Warren Buffett is always a good read. But, now those audio books are available now. I'm a big fan of audio books. And, audio books, I can get through, 2 or 3 audio books, in a week, just sitting here trading and watching my positions in the SPX or the SPY. And I've really started to fall in love with the SPY because guys have been complaining about how, the SPX sometimes the liquidity and not being able to get filled and stuff like that. So the SPY is starting to become a favorite of mine, and finding ways to overperform on the SPY using non-directional trading strategies has been my new love. Yeah. So yeah, guys, and you can do this again with any stock. It doesn't have to be. I like the ETFs because we don't have things like what's happening right now in GME happen to me, right? You're never going to see that kind of price action on SPY, right? ETFs in their nature, they can't be squeezed, right? That's why if you're doing non-directional trades and you ever see somebody putting on non-directional trades, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be in an ETF, or a CBOE product or something like that, because that inherent risk of being squeezed is not there. It's not there. And then plus, again, you're trading a strategy that gives you that casino-like edge to win. All right. But you do have to build processes in place that will, capture or protect you if things go too far. For example, here was the election, right? Here's the election that 6% move when Biden got elected. And that was an incredible move. Those of you guys who were trading that day, that was an incredible week. That was really an incredible week of trading. It was a 6% move. Obviously we sold off, into that, not aggressively. A lot of people didn't even notice that for 2 weeks there were two losing weeks after that. Uh, you know, and we're pretty much kind of in the same area. But so far, again, my strategy has won every single week since then. Just simply taking 3% on each side. I've won every trade since then. I posted um, my WordPress blog on there, and I'm not doing anything different than I haven't been doing. Same iron condors, same kind of positioning. Sometimes you can come in a little close, particularly when we're overbought, right? A 3% move is not likely. You can try this on ETFs, for example. Some of my favorite XLF or DIA sometimes can be lucrative too. But sometimes finding, again, that's another one where the size of the options too can frustrate you, because some ETFs are so small. You got to have like 50 contracts just for it to be a decent position for you. So the size of the and price of the ETF does play a part, and that's kind of why I lean towards more SPX, because it is it's basically the SPY times 10. So I don't need 50 contracts in order for me to find a position that makes sense. But with Robinhood, you got guys out here who have Robinhood. You got all these other free brokers. You can still make you can still win week after week after week after week after week. I mean, this again, I'm going back to November 9th. And it's not me just talking out of my ass. You go home and you pull out an Excel file and you find what that variance is for you and that product you're trading. Could be 4%, could be 5%. You could look at Tesla and say, shit, if I did an iron condor in Tesla, 7%, on each side for the last 36 weeks, I win 31 out of 36 times. That's a good trading record. That's a good trading record. And again, still have to set some kind of proper protocol for those times where you can get risk to lose your investment, because you definitely want to have some kind of protocol. But some guys who, if you got 10 grand, you start with 10 grand and just kind of let the system do its thing. Being really systematic with my trading now, instead of like putting it on myself to figure it out, because you're just not smart enough. You're not smart enough. Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. Yes, that's a really good book. Love that book. Airbnb is going to end up being one of the largest companies in the world one day. Go long. You can't go wrong with Airbnb. All right, we'll get back to the chart now. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. I really hope you guys enjoyed that and run with it, because it really, really is a useful way to trade, to get yourself out of the way and allow a system to kind of win for you. Because the system is going to beat you every time. It's going to beat you every single time. Yes, Bob. Yeah. I went back and I was watching that guy. What's this guy who got locked up for like selling overpriced drugs, and then he was doing a little bit of fraud on the side? A little nerd that used to come live on YouTube. And this guy would get like 10,000 people watching him at one time. I know you guys know who the hell I'm talking about. Guy out of New York, wears glasses. His name is on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember it right now. And he got arrested. They used to call him Pharma Boy. Farmer Bro, or Pharma Bro, or Farmer Boy, something like that. What was that guy's name? But he would do these shows. Martin Shkreli, there you go. Thank you, Pro Style. Martin Shkreli. He would do these shows where he would break down some of these tickers and with these Excel. I'm like, whoa, okay. So I went back. I was watching some of those old shows. I'm like, okay, that Excel finance is another level. I need to get up on that Excel finance shit, man. So you can take courses on Udemy, and there's some decent courses on there where you can learn Excel finance and really answer some questions you've been wanting to know about some stocks that reading Yahoo Finance or Market Watch just doesn't tell you. Just doesn't tell you. And I'm still figuring it out myself. I don't want to come off as an expert or anything like that, but if I could suggest something to you, is definitely to look into that as the next level of your learning of this market. It's really, really going to be helpful to you. Really, 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 because it's an immediate difference in terms of my performance. Immediate difference. You start spotting things like BT, and like, okay, oh shit, well, so they're delivering this, and this, and then why are they priced like that? Oh, okay, all right, so it was 1%, 1%, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing accumulation here. This week, oh, they about to blow this one up. You can literally see, obviously you can see it on the chart, but looking at it on an Excel document, it just really blows it out there for you when you're tracking these companies like that. Again, you can use ETFs or your favorite stocks. Shout out to all the new subscribers. I appreciate all of you guys. But yeah, GME still holding. Shout out to everybody in the chat room watching, trading with me. A lot of people are working from home. A lot of people are at work trading. Let me see, what's Verizon? Yeah, I was seeing there's a large cap Verizon, but Verizon's been getting their ass handed to them these last couple of weeks. I've been wondering, I'm curious of why Verizon is below the 25 moving average on the monthly. And the decline in any stock really starts below the 10 moving average on the monthly. When you're below the 10-month moving average, something's wrong. And Verizon's been a great company. They're not the cheapest company. They make a whole lot of money. They do very, very well. But to see it performing like this over the last year and a half, it's really been nowhere as a tech company. And I think if you're a shareholder, obviously, if you've been doing well on your dividends, that's fine. But if you've been looking for capital appreciation of the stock, it just hasn't happened. And we might be looking at a situation here where people might be deciding to run for the hills. T going. Okay, Riley said you're working from home. That's what's up. Yeah, SE Trucker. I do it, but I do in the training. The power of three is uh, it's every 3 days, but you can do 3 days weekly. But in SPX options, there is an expiration practically every 3 days. So what you're doing is 3% each way for those 3 days, and you're just winning. Man. Sometimes I don't want to give it away because I'm so afraid if people start doing it, they'll change it up, or it'll stop working. But there's just so much money out there for everybody. It doesn't even make sense for me to like overprice my content, or hey, I don't want to tell you guys how to. I just never been that kind of dude anyway. So much money out there. So much money out there. Can you explain why I like moving average indicators? Why? Yeah, because they're extremely reliable on longer time frames and even on short time frames. They've proven themselves time and time again. When you pull up some of these alerts, or you pull up, uh, for example, I'm looking at AT&T right now. This is an hourly time frame, right? The 10 moving average, 25 moving average, letting you know that out of the last 25 instances within that time frame, price is now beneath that 10 moving average. So I should probably go short here. And as you can see, it played itself out. Obviously, no signal is 100%. You got some fakes. If you were to pull it out, the more data you pull on a chart, meaning the longer the time frame, the more accurate the signal. So, why complicate things? Prices trend, moving averages identify trend, using longer time frame, meaning more data on the chart, more accurate signals, and you just trade them. Look at something like Tesla. Look at something like Tesla, man. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to. There's no debate here. You can't tell me the indicator didn't work here. 3 days starting to become a little bit of my favorite, just because now I'm way more patient than I was, a couple years ago. LK Right, you said give you a play. You're looking and you can't find one. Man, a play right now. If you would have asked me yesterday, I would have told you, it'd be Nikola, and it could still very well be Nikola, because I still think there's quite a bit of a short interest still in there. And this could end up becoming something. Just watch it, man. Just watch it. This can be, like I said, if this breaks that 60 RSI, I've told you guys that we're bullish and those monster runs really happen. This could get real ugly for shorts really soon. Really, really soon. But I mean, something more boring, a little bit more boring, you might want to look at what's going on in some of these ETFs outside of the country, these foreign ETFs. A little bit boring, but you're going to be able to make some money on them. Maybe not necessarily EWZ, but some of these China plays that are going on right now. China's on fire right now, man. China is on fire right now. If you haven't noticed, here's FXI, large cap Chinese ETF on T-shares, man. They're on fire right now. All right, up almost $10 a share from, what was that bounce? That came December 28th. So almost a month ago, up $10 a share. What's going on, Bespoke? But yeah, SC Trucker, I mean, you don't even have to buy my course. I just kind of told you what you got to do. You don't even have to buy the course. I just told you what you got to do. But yeah, I'm going to be adding an update to show people, monthly as well, because there's a very lucrative way to trade monthly options. It just requires a next level of patience, and not everybody has that. Not everybody has that ability to just kind of sit in something for a month or two. But I mean, how many traders do we have to learn from to realize that sometimes, man, sitting around and just enjoying the ride can make you a whole lot of money. Whole lot of money. Here's GME now, still on the move. Look at that, new high. GME, 118 now. Somebody in the chat room has said they're going for 145. 119, new high now. 135, new high now. Oh, Lordy. Somebody about to die. Somebody's about to die. J&J option. J&J has liquid options. I had looked at J&J a few like months ago. It's just the liquidity just wasn't there because I was looking at them as a possible coronavirus play. You know, because they're talking about they have a COVID shot that might be one shot instead of two. Because I'm not taking these two. These one where you go for one and then you come back after. No, I'm not feeling that. And then what I love about the Johnson and Johnson shot, it's not it's not a mRNA based shot. It's very much like, you know, the traditional kind of, I forgot what this is a word for it. Like, you know, like measles, mumps, rubella. That is kind of built in that mold. Right. I'm not interested in these vaccines where they're playing with your DNA and they're alternating it, you know, visor and nah, I'm good, man. I'm good on those. So I'm really looking forward to what the J&J vaccine is going to do. Yeah, Moderna is one. Moderna is one. You know, is it MDNA, right? What was Moderna? Is it MDNA or mRNA? Yeah, I feel like that run already kind of took its shape. Where is that run at? Yeah, that was a gorgeous, you know, COVID run here. Yeah, it's how crazy is it that they create mRNA vaccines, which I believe this was actually their first, and their ticker was mRNA, and has been for, you know, since they introduced to the market. Anyway, new high now, 124. Shit. Oh, I appreciate you, Duluth. I appreciate you, brother. Definitely gonna be adding a lot more stuff to it. Again, I'm learning a little bit more Excel stuff. So you're gonna see a lot more Excel stuff this year being put into the course, because that's really the new way now, man. Because there's just so much data out here, you know, and there's gonna be more and more and more data, and you know we're going to be going beyond the whole just like technical. I mean, technical will always have its place, but you know you're gonna have to know how to like put in some formulas and kind of really get a question and get an answer that you just can't get on a technical basis looking at a chart. What's going on stock today? Bespoke, what are you trading? CL? Are you talking about crude futures? CCIV. Churchill Capital. They were trying to go after MIT too for a while there this morning. MITT, they tried to go after that one too. This one, MITT is really interesting because this is a investment trust. Again, another stock that's heavily shorted. They had some financial issues. Some people talking about they possibly could be going broke. So MITT, they really tried to go after this one as well. I think this might be halted. Is it halted right now? This could be halted right now. Or am I tripping? Yeah, but MITT was another one they tried to go after. And for the sake of my bandwidth, I haven't opened up my broker or anything like that. Okay, waited until tomorrow to do another trade. Damn, missed that big bounce off 124 down. You got some profit taking going on right now in GME. The higher up you go, the more dangerous it becomes for you to play in GME, because every day the promotion, and that's basically what this is, goes on. You get weaker, you attract weaker and weaker hands. Because the bold money was already in. The bold money was in at 15, at 20, at 22, at 24. It's getting real dangerous here now because they're below that 60 RSI here. They need to get back up there. Again, just a 1 minute chart, so they should be well above it on the higher time frame. Let's go to, let's say, 15 minute. Yeah, there it is. They're still above there. But we know price begins at those lower time frame and then comes across to those higher time frames. So if it continues to stay below the 60 RSI on the 1 minute, it will eventually show this RSI dipping back into below 60 on the 15 minute. But they're doing well right now. Again, holding, again, using the basic crossover, and they're doing really well, man. SC Trucker, buy the red, sell the green. That's what's up, man. Can't lie. And they've been printing a lot more green than red. I'm sitting here doing the math in my head of like, damn, maybe I should have, instead of going online, just went and bought bought the $50 call and just rode with it for the end of the week. But hey, hindsight is always 2020. He said Tom Brady is he's the best of the best. And so many guys hate Tom Brady. A lot of people hate Tom Brady because he's not a tough guy. That's why even a lot of football people don't like Tom Brady, because he's not a tough man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not in the mold of like a Dan Marino or a Brett Favre or something like that. He doesn't have that, like, but he still delivers, man. He still delivers, man. The guy just wins games. He wins games. You know. Stock symbol is X. You talking about US Steel? What's US Steel doing? Yeah, I mean, U.S. Steel is you know, definitely one of those stocks. If you believe an infrastructure bill is headed, and it's more than likely. Let me tell you, there's really no other choice the government has to get this economy up and running again. Is just to print and print and print and print money. I mean, it's almost sad when you look at our deficit. I mean, I don't like to be one of those guys who goes in all on that, because I just think it's too complicated to discuss here on this platform. But you know, it's sad. We just printing money, and I don't know where we're going to get the revenue to pay for all of this, all of these obligations we're creating for ourselves here. And as my good friend John Bogan had came on the show, and we talked about last year, almost 2 years ago now, the idea of the government giving people money. And he said it, and I hear his voice just today, like, once the government starts giving people money, it will never stop. And he's right. They gave us 600, gave another 600. Now they're talking about another 1,200 or whatever they're talking about now. And once you start giving people money, it becomes an expectation, man. I see it in my own daily life with women. You meet a new girl, You get, get a little too happy. Like, oh, baby, you can have $100, man. I just want to treat you. Okay, all right. Well, she gonna keep asking you for 100, and wait till that one time you can't give it to her. That's your ass. Yeah, yeah, LRT, you're right. That mental toughness. That's what he has. That mental toughness. Yeah, my SPX trades are still doing really well. My SPX trades are still doing very well. I always have a trade going at one time, at any time. Because every single day the market is open, price is fluctuating and options are losing value. Every day in America, options lose value, and that's money you can make. Yeah, SC Trucker. If you remember, I don't know. I've talked forex on the show before, and if there's any type of forex trade I would do, would be the U.S. dollar versus an exotic currency, like maybe the Mexican peso or the South African rand or something like that. Just because dollar for dollar, your returns a little bit better there, and based on all the money printing we were doing for a while there, I had a little $100 or so trade that went to $600 with USD rand. But it's just it's not for me just because I find it very hard to control margin sometimes, and you know forex too. You could be down for an hour or a day or two until you start making some money. And it really can fuck with your head, man. It really can fuck with your head. Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go on a bit because you guys have been 2 hours, and I did promise my girl we are gonna do something today. I appreciate you, IKD. So yeah, guys, we're gonna keep watching GME, and this isn't over, man. This is not over. This is clearly not over. This might be the new wave of the trading future, where people, have found now a new way to generate alpha by going after institutions that are heavily short stocks. There's no technical analysis that takes place here. There's no real, research you got to do. You just find out who's heavily short something and just go after them. Just go after them. That's it. You don't even really care about the underlying fundamentals of the business. Nobody cares to the fact that GameStop lost $700 million, and continues to lose money every single day. Nobody cares. Oh, okay. Lucid. Yeah, I've seen the commercials, the Lucid Air and stuff like that. It looks like a badass car. Yeah, Brittany, I'm with you. Forex is just very, and I'm not. I need an edge. I need to trade something where I can get a clear edge, and there's no clear edge in forex. There's no. You can't take both sides of the trade. You can't. Uh, you don't have all the information, particularly about the other country on the other side, right? There's certain moves that don't make sense in certain time periods that happen often. The daily time frame on forex is a disaster of up and down moves that can't be explained. You know, so I don't do very well on forex, so I stay away from that. But hey, shout out to everybody who decided to graduate from Swag Academy. Shout out to that Swag Academy though. Not to be a hater, but man, they coming after his neck, boy. They coming after his neck. You know, that's the thing about forex, man. If you're gonna sell the dream of being a forex millionaire, I mean, and the problem is that the strategy is just not even. You can't even replicate the strategy. You know, there's no replicatable strategy in forex. Trust me, I've looked for it. There was one ad that was on YouTube for a while, and he was calling it like the Sunday London Morning Open or some bullshit like that. And then somebody did a video where like it fails like 80% of the time, and then he stopped running that ad. It's just a joke. You know, you said, what did he do, man? Just being a forex pumper, dude. Forex promoter, forex millionaire. That people just are tired of that, man. They're tired of that. I mean, look what they did to Raging Bull. You know what I'm saying? These guys might be like going to jail for real, for real. People are just tired of like this guru thing, man. They're just tired of you being, acting like you can make somebody rich and all that. People are just tired of it. Tried and true. You said you have a strategy? Okay. Fraudulent Swag Academy. just to, just the name alone, Swag Academy is just, oh my God. It's just funny, man. It's just funny. But I mean, we were all there too, man. We were all there too. So yeah, yeah, we pulled up NNDM earlier, man. Saw it was doing its thing. It was doing its thing. You know. Oh man, this girl's calling me too. All right, just a second, guys. Okay, cool, cool. So it reminds you of Ty Lopez. Yeah, he was really the first to kick that stuff off, and people saw all the money he was making and decided to jump on the bandwagon. NKLA looking tired now. UAVS. Shout out to all the new subscribers. I got a goal to hit 50K this year. Hit 36 and I wasn't even trying. Most man fast scam. BitConnect, yeah. Yeah, BitConnect was. Shout out to BitConnect, man. Yeah, Beyond Meat, man. Good Lord, that Beyond Meat squeeze was so nasty. That Beyond Meat squeeze was so nasty. I mean, it almost got to the all-time high, man. We haven't even touched on what happened to Beyond Meat today. But that was nasty, man. That was nasty. The problem with Beyond Meat is you got a lot of trapped people up there, and that's kind of why it probably hasn't been able to really keep its momentum. But that Beyond Meat squeeze this morning was nasty. I saw that pre-market move, and it was ooh. And I'm not gonna lie, I've tried to go after Beyond Meat so many damn times, but they are masters of, releasing news just when they're just good at it. They are really good at it, and sales are okay. I mean, sales are okay. Net profits just still isn't there, but they're able to get the sales. So, but Valuation is still a concern. 300 million revenue. Now $12 billion valuation, but it is what it is, man. But it made definitely some money up and down Beyond Meat. But learned a lesson in it too. I mean, you just got some people who just they don't want to hear nothing, man. They're gonna buy, 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 buy. Microsoft going ham today too. Been waiting on Amazon. Amazon has been just like, good Lord, where you at, baby? You one of the biggest companies in the world. Let's just get it done. I've been waiting for that breakout. So it's just kind of been trapped in this thing since August, July, really. Going on almost. I hope it doesn't make it the whole year, but what's going on with Amazon? We were talking Amazon 5,000 by now. And it just kind of seems to be stuck at this level, regardless of the fact that, you had some of the best earnings it ever had. Maybe this next earnings report is what we need to see to really get Amazon out of this rut. But, I'm not going to lie. It's gotten to a point where it's become very, very expensive. And really the only way to play it is with spreads. And even then, it's still very expensive. Fuck no. I still don't trade Roku, bro. Every trader has a stock where you just don't win. And that's, for me, it's Roku. I just don't win, man. I got a video on my channel where I'm basically crying. I lost $7,500 in Roku. And I remember it just like yesterday. It still hurts. Still hurts. But then again, it was a time where I really didn't understand price action. I didn't understand, low float and what that means. I went back and I looked at it, and that was also heavily shorted as well. And I was trying to buy, I remember just like yesterday, I was trying to buy the $37 puts. And, I mean, these guys just would not stop buying the fucking stock, man. They just would not stop buying. And they went right through my 37 and then 38, 39, 40, and it just kept fucking going until I just couldn't take it anymore. And next thing you know, I was down $7,500. And that shit was painful. Yeah, that shit's painful, bro. And and that's what kind of literally got me back into kind of doing a promo real quick, because I needed that money. So a guy hit me up and he told, oh yeah, man, you can do this promo for me, and that's where that's kind of where Pred kind of came back in. If those of you guys who remember, it was a ticker called PRED. I don't even know Pred. Yeah, PRED. And he called me. He was like, hey man, I got a promo for you. Do you? This one in 2019. This was, I think 2018. Yeah, this was. I think this was September 20. Yeah, yeah. Hey, I got a promo for you, and we'll give you 5 up front, and 5 if you deliver $1 million. I was like, okay, cool. So he wired me the money. I just started making a ton of Pred videos. So that's why on my channel, if you see those Pred videos, that was after I took my loss, and I just needed that $7,500 back. Not that I didn't have much, but when you take a loss of $7,500 to make it back up, it can fuck with your head. When you take a big loss. So I just needed a way to get that money back, just to get over it. And I did a promo on that Pred stock. And that was the last one I ever did, because after then I focused on, actually learning how to trade this shit for real. Okay, shout out to you. 200% on Lemonade. Shout out to Lemonade. I heard they're changing the game, man, when it comes to the insurance industry. They're changing the game. Yeah. Yeah, you say you got to have short term memory in the market. Lost almost 2K on Tesla. And the next week it blew up. So you bought the shares, blew up with it. That's what's up, man. Yeah. Yeah, now definitely I know we got to have that short term and kind of let things go. But now, I'm more systematic than anything. So now I know losses are going to happen. And I have things in place that kind of limit those. But that day trading stuff, man, that's a young boy game, man. That's a young boy game. I'm 34 now, bro. I can't be having a heart attack at the desk like this. You know what I mean? Just heart beating all crazy, and I can't afford that stuff, man. You know, at 34, you're not trying to start over. I'm not trying to go back to when I was 21, 22, and no money, trying to figure. Hell no, bro. Fuck that shit. You know, wouldn't say I'm more cautious. Just would say I'm smarter. You know, too old to be blowing up accounts, man. He said Beyond Meat is pet food for adults. Hilarious. Yeah, I'm in GME. I'm just in it on the wrong side. Yeah, I'm in GME. I'm in the 145 calls. I got in those yesterday for 58 days away. So I'm in the April, and I'm also in March as well. Yeah, I'm letting this all ride. I don't care about what's going on in the next couple of days in GME. I could care less. Now, if we get to you know February 20th, right? We get to February 26th or this time next month, and GME is still at 105. I'm gonna be fucking pissed. I'm gonna be fucking pissed because I'm not making anywhere near as much as I think I want to be making, or I should be making on GME. You know, my full expectation is that I'm holding on to these April calls. That when April arrives, and April will come, that GME is, a $40 stock, and all of that credit that I took in expires worthless and comes right into my trading account. So right now I am in GME, but I'm in on the wrong side. There are two things I'm hoping for right now: an all-out either collapse within the next, 2.5, 3 weeks, or some kind of SEC action where, they do a 7-day hold, 15-day hold, 30-day hold. I'm cool with that too. I'm cool with that too. So your dollar cost that average, okay. Yeah, that's what's up, LK Rob. Yeah, man. I'm not trying to, so I still get hit up about penny stocks and, hey, man, this is a 2 cent play. It could be an 8 cent ripper. I'm just like, dude, I can't do it. I don't have the patience. I don't have the energy to do that anymore. Watch my money get locked up, and dealing with it, not being able to get out of it, waiting for somebody to come behind me to get me out. And, oh, fuck that, man. You know, if you're a beginner, you can deal with that, but okay. Text my girl back. Hmm. SEC is gangster when it wanna be. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, guys, we just sitting here trading, man, kicking it like old times. And this market, boy, this market ain't done nothing today, boy. Market wide, and I love it. I love days like this. I love days like this. These are my favorite days. Market doesn't do anything. I just showed you guys on the Excel document. Love days like this because I'm just watching the money come in. Just watching the money come in. GME pushing my position here in those calls. But again, got so much time on those, I'm not even worried about it. Yeah, I see somebody talking about BNGO. You know, that's another one. Let's see the 3 day. Let's see what it's been doing. Okay. Wow. Here's another one. They got caught. They caught people slipping. It's another one where people got caught slipping. Man, they really coming after you, man. We talked about that. They really coming after people, man. Understand like they're gonna have to be some rule changes, guys. This can't keep going on because otherwise there'd be no other reason to trade. You just go after people who are short. You know, you just have these like little gangs just running around, just like squeezing people who are short. So I'm gonna tell you right now, there are gonna be two things that are gonna take place. They're going to get rid of your ability to see who's short a stock. All right, they're gonna get rid of your ability to see who's short a stock, and then they're gonna get rid of. It'll probably get rid of your ability to short more than a certain percentage of your account. You know, meaning like you can't have a short position that's more than like 30% of your overall trading balance. We'll do some shit like that. If you have less than $25,000 in capital, because that way you take out basically 95% of the people who are in the Wall Street bets thing. They'll do that type of shit. Those are two rules right now I can see them doing. You will not be able to short more than 20%, 30% of your account if you have less than 25K. So naked short press. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And also they gotta change. They gotta change the cost of these options now, man. The option pricing has to be adjusted, which is works great for me. Like calls are too cheap. Out of the money calls are way too cheap, and they have to increase the price of out of the money calls. And as a premium seller, I'm all for that. I'm 100% all for that. I heard Jim Cramer talking about that yesterday. That you have these nickel, dime, quarter, out of the money calls on these stocks that are heavily shorted. It's got to be adjusted for risk. If a stock is shorted 90% of its available float, I shouldn't be able to buy a call that's $50 out of the money for $5. you know and again, not being a hater to what they're doing is just I want to be able to pass this game on to my kids the way it is right now. I don't want to pass on a game that's harder to make money. You know, you got some people out here trying to break the system. Fuck that shit. It's feeding me, bro. Is that the ticker? LEU? Citrus Energy. LEU. Said they're trying to compete with crypto. Well, crypto will have its market. I mean, crypto is always going to have its market, and it is what it is. You'll have the stock market, you'll have crypto. Crypto, these crypto stocks or crypto, trading things. This it's not a what you're trading is supply and demand when you're talking about crypto. What we're trading is the future. We're trading earnings. We're trading dreams, expectations of what management can do and can't do. You know, yeah. Dollar cost averaging. Let's keep it moving, man. Does anybody here do short strangles? Anybody here do short strangles? Short strangles, very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. But again, on ETFs, they're winning. They do very, very well in ETFs. Wouldn't do a short strangle on a stock per se, uh, especially a low float or one that's heavily shorted. But I've been learning about strangles too. But they do sometimes require significant amount of capital. But Nvidia. I've been looking at Nvidia, and I was saying, man, if I had did some short strangles on Nvidia, you would have done very, very well over the last several months. But you know what they say about hindsight. So wait until the new 24/7 system comes into play. I'm excited. If they want to move the market to 24/7, I'm really excited about that. Again, as a premium seller, I'm cool with it. Very cool with it. Somebody's talking about VRYYF, the Very Good Food Company. Never heard of it, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some research on that. The Very Good Food Company. Okay. Yeah, I just saved that on my list, so I'm gonna be checking that out. Mark Cuban says Bitcoin is like baseball cards. Well, but it, it's still that's why you can't put everything in it. I mean, I'm hearing people who put in every dollar they got in it. You have this guy behind MSTR who's put basically his whole fund on Bitcoin. Uh, so he's taking a risk. He's taking a risk that everybody's going to agree that the cost of Bitcoin or the value of Bitcoin is going to continue to rise and become more valuable, and that as a use case, it'll become something that helps protect people from inflation. He's asking for a lot out of Bitcoin. He's asking for a lot, but the last 10 years have proven that he's right. Bitcoin is being used more now than it's ever been before. People are really, really using the technology. There is a use case for it to back to be used as a way to back purchases, particularly with people in developing nations who have currencies that have virtually no value. You can actually buy things from them now, or you can take payment from them now. If you sell something in America, you really don't want to sell to somebody from Venezuela. I mean, who's paying you in their currency. And it's very hard for somebody from Venezuela to get their hands on US dollars. So how do we do business? Well, we can do business with Bitcoin. Send me Bitcoin. I send you the product. So, there's a use case. Oh, yeah, we're watching GME. We've been watching GME all day. Been here almost 3 hours watching GME with you guys. I'm invested. Again, not on the long side of the trade, but on the short side of the trade. Spread is now almost $1 wide spread now on GME. Almost $1 wide spread. It's been like that pretty much all day. Almost $1 wide spread almost all day. Looks like you're not going to get the volume of yesterday, so that's a good sign for shorts. But I mean, you can still see that there's still, there's still people trying to get out. There's still shorts that have to close and take their losses. Andrew Left may be one of those people. Citron may be kaput, for all we know. Said the boulevard exploded in 2018. Yeah, man. What's happened to Venezuela has been sad. Great place to buy property right now, though, if you got U.S. bucks. I don't know if they'll let you buy. I'm not sure what the rules are there in a communist country when it comes to foreign property ownership. But Venezuelan property, boy, that'd be the place to be if I had some extra M's laying around. Because they're whatever they're going for, it's way beneath what they're worth. Said you made 10K on what? GME? Okay. Shout out to you. Oh, it's an embargo? Okay. Yeah. To do anything in that country right now, you got to have dollars to do virtually anything in Venezuela right now. They're going to get to a point where they're going to have wheelbarrows around like Zimbabwe was not too long ago. Boy, GME holding these moving averages, bro. Look, it's been almost a 4-hour run right now. Look at that. Somebody said, do moving averages work? Hell yeah. This has been a 4-hour run. Again, 10 and 25 moving average strategy, just following the crossover. And it's doing well, man. $122 a share, up 59% today. 59% today. And this is a company that's had declining revenues 4 years in a row. 4 years in a row of declining revenues. And they decided that a man who made a fortune selling doggy treats can turn this thing around. Yeah, 890. Oh, Tesla, my bad. What am I doing? Tesla. Yeah, shout out to Tesla, man. I've rode that a couple times. Shout out to Tesla. Very scary stock, though, man. Oh, my God. If there's one stock that I can tell you that made me feel like I did when I was, trading pennies, it's Tesla. Because just the intraday moves sometimes are just so wild. It's just like, whoa, man, god damn. Calm down. Said 2.5 million hodlers think they're going to be billionaires. I mean, look, they've got that belief, then so be it. Look at these moving averages. Look at this is the hourly in GME today. Oh no, this is today. You held it this morning, and it's just taken off. Now it's well above the 10 moving average. Priced really for what should be a pullback, so we know there's something else going on right now because it's so far from that 10 moving average. $125 now. Good Lord. They are going after them. Boy, there's no it's like they're all in one room trading with each other, giving each other directions on what to do. That's how it feels. Oh, what's this? Yeah, I'm looking for one of those Tim Sykes. What do you used to call it when a penny stock would collapse? Tim Sykes had a word for it. I know. I had some Tim Sykes, disciples in here. Many of us are here because of that guy. I want to say capitulation, but that's not what he used. He had a different word for it. Somebody was asking what happened to Bad Scientist. Yeah, he's around. He's still on Twitter. I know he was running his own Discord for a while. I think he had kind of gave up on that just because it takes so much time. Yeah, he said it's manipulation. Yeah, that's what I thought too. That's what I thought he called it too. But he does have another word for it. I forgot. Speaking of Tim Sykes, it's been a long time since I've watched his any channel on his video. Can't trust a company who makes Jackie Ma disappear. I thought he just wanted to stay low key for a while, but yeah, China is a different kind of place, man. China is a different kind of place. He out there quarantining people behind their, against their will, and bro, that's a different kind of country, man. That's a different kind of country. Be happy you don't live there. If there's one thing that I would say I was on the same foot with Donald Trump on is the Chinese, man. These people are not our friends. I'll repeat that time and time again. These people are not our friends. Democrat, Republican, I don't care who you are. We got to be on the same, you know, one track mind when it comes to the Chinese. These people do not believe in free speech. They don't believe in people's rights, individual rights, human rights. They don't believe in nothing, bro. They believe in state control. China is what happens when you let Democrats not have any resistance, because that's kind of how they all started all that. Oh, we help the people, we help the poor, and you know. Anyway, I don't want to get into a political argument. I'm not Democrat or Republican. I just believe we need checks and balances, and that's why we do so good here. Okay, GME. Okay, Rod, still there. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Said China has kung fu. Well, hilarious, man. Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of China, man, because their women are a little too bony for me. I'm not really into that pancake booty. You feel me? Leading diagonal for me on GME. Okay. You on the 1 minute, Preston? Yeah, man. These people won't even let like Facebook and Netflix, or I mean, they won't even let some of these good American companies in their country, bro. Like I said, so if you won't even let your people have Facebook, come on, man. 125 on the dot, high of the day for GME. They're gonna take this to the bell, bro. they're really gonna take this to the bell. God damn, maybe I'm underestimating the kind of buying power these people have. You know. Mm-hmm. 110 price should hit now. Say GME is going to the moon. Let's see, man. Hey, as long as you guys get this moon shit, you know, done by the time my options expire, I'm gonna be fine. Y'all got till about February, 15th at the least. Get this shit up and done with. But I mean, I wouldn't mind it if they go up there and they start writing $200 calls, and I can get like a leap option. If I can go out and get like a leap 2022 200 GameStop, I'd do it. For like 2022, if they write that, and that shit is like, you know, $20 or some crap like that. Good Lord. Yeah, man. You gotta enjoy the squeeze, man. Squeezes take at least a week or two. You know, some of you guys might not remember the squeeze that took place on Qualcomm. What was that Qualcomm squeeze? Um, yeah, I think that was back in April of 19. I remember that. It was a Qualcomm squeeze. It was April all the way to, it was April 15th to the 29th. So it took almost 2 weeks. Yeah, exactly 2 weeks. I remember this one right here. And it was just like, what the fuck? What's going on? Like, what the hell is this stock? Like, what the hell? But eventually came down, but found some support there because there were some real business changes that had been taking place, but prices had gotten just ridiculous, But eventually, it was a nice slide for those guys who were, a month out, 2 months out. And that's when I really learned, like, when you see these squeezes, man, let that shit go. Just let it go. Don't try to, intra week and, oh no. Let that shit go. Let it go. As you can see here on the weekly chart for GME. And again, this is why I think Nikola can possibly be the same way. I can see Nikola next week, later this week, something like that, 35, 30. It's starting out the same way. And if you're late to GME, you got to be looking at Nikola and saying, it's cheaper. I can get in and, do some, be a part of something. At this point in GME, maybe I can't talk because you've had a really impressive day, but, shit. Look at some of the price of these calls right now. I mean, you're paying, $25, $30 for just one call right now. Look at that. The GME 135 call right now, $21. 130 call, $22. So I mean, look, anybody who's going in GME right now, you're spending some bucks, man. You're spending some real bucks. Whereas right now, the Nikola March 19th 2250 call, you can still get it for about $5.80. So you can still spend about $500. and get into Nikola. So it's about a quarter of the price to participate in Nikola than it is GME right now. Yeah, shout out to Neo. Neo talking about going into the European market, by the way. And Neo is one of those stocks I consider that to be like a TikTok stock. I look at that like a TikTok stock. That was just pure TikTok. You know, that was pure driven TikTok. Let's take a look at Neo real quick anyway. Just want to see what they're doing. $59.90. SPY. Are they pulling back a little bit on Neo? Let's see. Let's go to hourly. Okay, it's topping out a little bit, but it's still finding some new buyers in there. They're trying. But yeah, you got people calling Neo the next Tesla. So you got people calling Neo the next Tesla. Tesla unstoppable. New high today. New high today. Yeah, did it hit that? Was that? Oh no, that was. Oh, that 900. Okay, 900 was the new high. But still, that was just last week. And I'm looking at it like this GameStop. Like this is an international situation. So they trade in Italy as well. Lord Jesus. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. Yeah, LRT, the volume coming in is insane, man. I had high hopes for some of the other plays that I've been seeing being talked about in Wall Street bets, but it's very clear that they are sticking with this, and this is really the only way, the only place they're putting all their capital, and are really being, unforgiving about it. I'm in the chat room or the little forum now, and when you see them talk about some other plays, they're not even getting anywhere near as much traction as the GME post. So they're very clear that GME is where they want to be and what they want to talk about. There we go, 127. 128 now. Dude, is this going to hit 100%? Lord Jesus. They're gonna make these people write $200 calls, man. They're gonna make traders write $200 calls. And I'm thinking if I want to write some, I might want to write that, bro. I also looked at it. Somebody showed me an iron condor. They were like, you can do an iron condor from 150 down to 4. I'm like, shit, that's a lot of capital I have to put up. Brother, they are not playing with you, bro. They are not playing with you. Guys, they're gonna change the rules, man. They're gonna change the rules. Like don't think for a second like this is not going to come with some real changes. they're gonna change some rules, and this isn't even that bad. Like in terms of like, yeah, yesterday was really bad. I mean, at least today they're being orderly about it. But yesterday was real. That's why I really regret not going live yesterday, because that's when it was just like, yo, what the fuck? And Twitter was going crazy too. I was in Twitter, they scrapped my account, but you can still log in and see what people are talking about. And people are just like, what the fuck? Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, people are really trying to frame this as like light versus dark. And if you buy, and it's hard to fight against an argument like that. This is the light versus the dark side. Like, are you serious, dude? Yeah. Keep it real, or keep real. A little over 80. A little over 80. I trade under a business. I don't know how long you've been watching me, but I trade under a business and I pay myself an income from that. And I've been doing very well these last couple of years. But again, as I just showed my strategy earlier, I don't know how long you've been watching me, but just being a systematic trader, man. Took a long time to get there, bro. Years and years of foolishness on this channel. I can't even watch some of my old shit sometimes. Cause I'm like looking at stocks I wouldn't even blink at today. I wouldn't even blink at today. But really, I want to be, I want to become one of those like 6 figure a month type traders. That's my dream to be one of those kind of traders who can bring in 6 figures a month. 120 a month, 130 a month. There are traders who do that, and it is very, very possible. I've got to learn how to get more comfortable with size and because I know I have a system that works, but I still, have trouble dealing with size. I still get scared just because I know where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? I know where I'm from, and I'm not one of those people like if I get ruined, I can go like some of y'all go to like a dad or go to your uncle or go to and you can just go get 100 racks and just like start over. Like fuck that shit. I can't do that. So you know I gotta be real responsible and just understand that this journey is long, man. So I'm risking not being able to be that flashy, like look at my money, look at my this dude now, so that I could be that way when I got some gray hair. You know what I'm saying? Like when I get some gray hair, just doing the math on where I know my account will be, I'll be flashy and shit then. You know what I'm saying? I'll be flashy and shit then. But I'm not willing to risk, trying to please these hoes or please dudes who don't even know me to look a certain kind of way now and then risk possibly losing everything that I work for. You know, because I've seen guys on this channel blow up, bro. It's not fun. It's not fun. It is not fun. Guys who were in the chat can't even trade no more. You know, there was one guy. Um, they started making fun of this dude. They called him not bat scientist, but you guys remember his name? He was the plumber dude out of Texas. He worked as a plumber. and I would get Bats and him mixed up, but Bats is black and this guy was white. And he tried to go full time for a while, and then people were like, "Oh, you're a plumber" and all that stuff, and he started losing like real big. Like, God, I forgot what his name was. Good dude too. Good dude. I had him on the show once or twice. I know somebody here knows who I'm talking about, but I cannot remember his name. Really not good with that. These were a while ago, but $136. Are they talking about this on CNBC now? Because by now they should be talking about it on CNBC. It gets to a certain price where they just they can't not talk about it anymore.
Their portfolio.
Let me see.
A winner it has been for the Bulls.
Because it gets to a point where they can't not talk about it. And by the way, if you guys want to watch a free stream online of CNBC, I'm going to put it in the chat room. That's a free stream. That's a free stream. I used to pay like $20 a month to Sling to watch CNBC, or sometimes TD Ameritrade. When I was with them, they have like free CNBC. But you can watch it at that link right there. And sometimes it freezes, but you just, refresh it or whatever. And I watch a bunch of other channels there too. And that's been good for like 2 years, bro. That's been good for like 2 years. No, SE Trucker. This was a guy from Texas. I remember him being from Texas, and he was a plumber. I forgot his name. But if I had showed you guys his face, you'd be like, "Oh yeah." Nancy Pelosi buys Tesla calls. Yeah, I think it was her husband. Her husband is like a big time, like he's like a trader type dude. Nancy Pelosi with her 80-year-old ass. This lady is too damn old to still be in government like that. Dude, they're gonna break 145. And we mentioned that here on the show today. I really just want to record this because I want to be here for this. I want to, like, 3 years from now when this shit is like a $5 stock again, or a year from now more than likely, like I can come back to this video and just be like, did you guys see that shit? Dude, we're just going vertical now. We're straight vertical now. Look at the higher time frame, because we're just now straight vertical. This should be just going straight up now on a 15-minute. There we go. Oh, look at that. It's just straight up now. Oh man, this is painful. You're a $2 billion fund. You're a $3 billion fund. You're short this. Oh man, this is painful. This is very, very painful. Said Bitcoin pumpers have turned to GME. Hilarious. Hilarious. Bro, we can't even get a red candlestick. Just had a big pullback from 140s. $10 pullback here. Whoever took that profit, that was nice profit. That's some really nice profit. That's some really nice profit. We're talking about 122 to 140 in 10 minutes. That's a nice return. Oh shit, is this the beginning? No. Yeah, I didn't think so. Fuck it. Bro, I would love to see something where it just like drops from like 140 to. Why do they keep halting the shit, man? Just let it fall. That's what, that's what pissing me off. It's like they helping it when they halt. I know they got to do the momentum. You know the. Did they halt it? Hold on. They always come and fucking save the day. God damn it. Just let it fall. At this point, like the halts are helping them reorganize. Ah, shit. Yeah, SC Trucker. Yeah, I have April puts. I have April and I have March puts. But yeah, if they get to 200 and we start seeing some rights, for example, let me show you guys right now. I don't see any 200. I see the 200 for the 29th. No, that's still not. Let me show you where the flow is right now. Let me see. Can I show you guys where the flow is? Brief moment here. Let me get out of the way here. So this is the black box screen, and this is where the flow is right now. So they're still going in heavy, man. I'm still seeing some calls being buying here. They're still getting, 251 just before they grabbed a put there for 336. $1.3 million, 1.13 million on the call side for the 29th, a 150 call for 1.3 million. So they're still like, they're slamming the calls, man. And these are heavy. Still see some puts, but and the puts are coming in. Here's a 65 put, 65, 65. He's slamming the 65s. Here's 115 on the call side. But as you see here, they're all short dated. It's all this week, which is good for me. I'm very happy to see that. This guy, look, this is an interesting one here. They're going April 16, $20 put. That's probably a really good trade right now, too. The April 16, $20 put. If you get a big pullback this next month, that'll be a very nice return on investment. So, let's go and look and see what they're doing in terms of the heat map. All right, so now the heat map is a little bit more detailed. So for those guys who weren't here earlier, this is the heat map of every stock that you can follow. You can pull up any stock and you find out what traders are trading for in terms of the intra week. So this is the calls, these are the puts. 0 means within the week. P1 means 1 week away. P2 means 2 weeks away. So as you see, all the call action for the most part is still intra week, so expiring this week. They are going out now, or they could possibly be selling these, or maybe doing some kind of bear put spread, which is more than likely what they're looking to do here at the 100 a week from now, 115, which I think was what they're doing. They're doing some bear call spreads here, where now those 100 calls for next week are not cheap. So they can sell that premium now, and if they've got some patience, they could very well be very rewarded from those. All right, and as you can see here, they're going out now to 110 2 weeks from now too. As you can see here on the put side, they're way out there. I mean, they're 2 weeks away. 75, they're really loading up on those 75 puts, and the 95 puts more than 2 weeks away as well. So that's where we are right now, guys. That's where we are right now. Yeah, that's what I'm pissed off. They're halting it on the way down. Like this thing was falling apart. Oh shit. You know what I'm saying? They're helping it out. Come on, man. See, it's helping them reorganize. Just let the sucker trade. Look at that shit. Now, without that halt, we would be at 114 right now. Oh, that's hilarious, man. So I don't know what side to be on. I'm at the same time I'm happy because I would love to see, the ability to buy some 200 calls for 2022. But then at the same time I'm kind of like torn because I do have some March options out there, so I want to see the capitulation happen, preferably before the end of the month. you know. Preferably at the end of the month. Man, what is going on, man? Yeah. So they're just gonna let this. They're just gonna let this ride. I feel like at this point now, they don't know what to do with it. He said, "Don't a straddle help with this?" No, I would not take a straddle with this position at all. Remember, a straddle has an undefined risk, so risk is unlimited, right? So a straddle will say you could put a straddle here where you sell. Let's say you sell the 200 call and sell the $40 put, right? So that position will say from 198 to $17 you'll make X. Well, that's fine, right? That's all fine and dandy. But if GameStop ends up going to 200, 220, 225, 300, you're fucked. Because now those calls that you've decided to sell have possibly doubled or even tripled in price. And when you're selling calls and your account goes in a negative, your broker, depending on who it is, will likely close your account. Not even ask you for, hey, I need you to put some money in here, or no, they're just going to straight up close the trade, sometimes the account itself, and begin proceedings to get that money from you. That'd be a disaster. There's music playing right now. Do I have music playing? I don't hear no music. You know. Oh, you must be watching. You must be way back at the beginning, M1 Gunner. You must be way at the beginning. There's no music playing right now. All right, man. This girl's gonna get mad at me. Oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool, M1 Gunner. I appreciate you being here. I've been on for 3 hours. I'm actually getting off here because I feel like they're gonna take it to the close. So I'm hoping, I'll be back tomorrow because I really would love to see the capitulation. I'd love to have that on video for just my own purpose, my own enjoyment for years down the road. Because sometimes I look back on some tickers I've talked about, and you see them now at 200, 300, 100 more. And a ticker like GME that we know is going to end up being a failing business. Uh, to see it now at 136, and it's just crazy. And I don't even know when earnings are for this company or not, but if they're smart, they should do an offering right here. They, 1.5 billion in debt. Do an offering. Do an offering right here. Do an offering right here. Get that cash. Get debt free. Get debt free. Maybe sell the business. It's an opportunity, man. But yeah, before I leave, I hope you guys really took in what I said about learning Excel finance. Excel finance will free you, man. Excel finance will just teach you at that deeper level game that you should know, because markets really don't move as much as you think. This is very unusual for the market. What we're seeing here in GME is very unusual. Obviously, it's but markets in America, they don't move as aggressively day to day as you think they do. When you actually rip out the noise and then you slap on, what is the percentage move that we're seeing across this particular product day to day to day to day, you find, just same levels of variances. Oh, it's Tesla, 7% or 3% weekly or whatever it is. And then you can set positions to benefit from, what can be sometimes 90% of the move week after week after week after week after week, and win that trade at the same amount. Nothing always going to be perfect, but that's what the large financial institutions a lot of times are doing. That's what they're doing. Appreciate all of you guys for joining me in the chat room today. I'll probably be back on same time tomorrow, noon, or just slightly before. I like to enjoy my CNBC before I get into the trading day. But yeah, the market for the most part overall didn't really do much today. We're not going overwhere. Again, that's why I love days like today. I mean, a nice sleepy market on SPY as well as QQQ. As a premium seller, this is days you live for. And of course, all the noise that we're getting and is from, what is a small cap stock, in all intents and purposes. It is a small cap stock that's now trading at levels that are absolutely insane. And, you heard it here first. There are going to be some rule changes due, thanks to this. There will be some rule changes. And as I said, they will, either increase the price of out of the money calls, right? So out of the money calls will now be significantly more expensive than they should be. And you're going to possibly also see where they just stop, sharing or just ban the ability to see how much a stock is short. That probably will just go away. That probably just go away. And also, if you have less than $25,000 in your account, you may be restricted to the amount of out of the money calls you are purchasing in comparison to the size of your account. So maybe you could only buy so many out of the money calls if you only have less than $25,000. Or just off dome. I mean, that's just easily things that you can see to kind of prevent this from happening again. I can see them doing that because we can win, right? As retail, they'll let you win, but when you start crushing institutions, that's unfortunately that's crossing the white line, so yeah, ladies and gentlemen, yes, I am live, but we're going off now. So appreciate everybody who was joining. Shout out to all the new subscribers who pressed subscribe. We saw quite a few new subscribers today. The channel is growing incredibly, even though I'm not going as hard. It's just, so happy to see so many people getting acclimated or falling really head over heels for some of my old work. That all of a sudden the algorithm is like just loving all my old shit all of a sudden. It's crazy. So, LK Rob, Blue Cousin, Katisha Boyd. Yes, Katisha, this is GameStop. Mr. JRH, appreciate you, bro. KO, let me just look at that real quick because it's been a long time since I have looked at Coke. Yeah, KO's doing well. When I look at KO and McDonald's, I look at them like this because they're like brothers. If you own Coca-Cola, you should be owning McDonald's because their success is so intertwined. Like, do some research on their businesses, bro. They are, where you see the success of McDonald's, you'll see the success of like Coca-Cola bottling and all. I mean, it's real deep shit. It's real deep shit. There have been times where they've held their investor days in the same city. That's how like intertwined they see their businesses. Some really, really good game there. But yeah, shout out to all you guys who are here in the building. Again, I'll be back on tomorrow. Don't want to spend the whole day here, but I'll definitely be back tomorrow to see where this goes because we might very well see GME, overnight. Let's see, we get a squeeze to 155, 160, and who knows where this could go. But I'm looking at a stock right now that's 95 on the RSI on the monthly, 95 on the daily. This is going to get real ugly. So we're going to see what the SEC is going to do about this because I'm going to tell you that right now, they are not going to let this fly. I hate to beat a dead horse about it, but they are not going to let this fly. Because right now you're not going after the Goldman Sachses of the world. You're going after the small fish. But they are not going to allow you to get to a point where, you start messing with guys who start, they're holding, investment funds for nations, right? Wealth, sovereign fund money. You know what I'm saying? That's a different level. So